Now, even though we're learning Flutter, I wanted to talk about this tool called FlutterFlow. Now, I feel like FlutterFlow has been in every single Flutter official event. They've had a big grand stage and been able to show off their products there, and it seems like the Flutter team is actually really excited about this product too, even though they're not directly associated with it, as far as I know. But FlutterFlow is a tool that allows you to create your UIs using no code pretty much. But you can take whatever you create in FlutterFlow without using code and export that Flutter code and build upon it as much as you want. So you can see you can jump into FlutterFlow and the UI looks like this. You have your widgets that you can bring in here. They're bringing in a tile widget here, and then you can customize it, add in more things. And it seems like you could create a lot of the UIs that you would be able to create with code just within this FlutterFlow UI builder. And as we scroll through their website, they have a really nicely built website. They have some demos of FlutterFlow. Right here, we have the director of Flutter and Dart saying FlutterFlow provides tooling that helps real-world developers and users build apps using it. Straightforward, easy to use tool that can generate very powerful results. So it seems like it has pretty good endorsement from the Flutter team. So the way you can build different here, as they call it, you have the visual builder where you can drag and drop the widgets. You can integrate APIs. I know you could add Firebase to it. It even says you can right there. You can add multiple languages, which is really cool. And there's a bunch of customizations. So here's a visual action builder. You can define actions, whatever happens when you tap a button. Even create custom widgets and custom functions within the actual FlutterFlow IDE. And it has over 350,000 users, which is definitely a lot. But let's jump into it. I've actually worked with it before. I actually have a video deploying a Flutter app built in FlutterFlow. And of course, the app isn't anything crazy. It's just this little to-do app that I built. So we can jump in and kind of play around with it. Like I said, it's not the most beautiful app, but you can take text and, for example, drop it in right here. And it says, hello world. Maybe you want to move it to over here instead. You can change what the text says. Say, this was added during CTM course. And now you can do whatever you want with it. You can expand it to make sure it takes up most of the screen, change however it looks. There's a lot of customization. You can have multiple screens. So for example, here I have a splash screen, a login screen, a registering screen, a list of the tasks, complete a task, task details, my profile, create task page, all of these pages. So you can really build some pretty complex applications just within this tool. And then if you go to the settings, you can actually see all these different things you could add to it. So you could change the theme of your app, how your app bar looks, some assets, app details, and then you can even add some authentication. You could add some in-app purchases using Stripe, including some integrations using GitHub, Supabase, Algolia, all these different things that you could add to your application with FlutterFlow. Now, not only can you build it, but you can actually run your application within the website. And there you go. You can interact with it however you want. Type in task name, record video, details, record it, and then create a task, select a date. This is just some app I created like over a year ago, so there might have been some Flutter updates. It's not working too well, but you get the point. So you can build this application using your visual little guide here. You could bring in the widgets, and then you can actually see if they're working or not. And then you can either connect it to your GitHub repo, download code, or you can just view the code within here. So it's a pretty cool tool. It can get you started on a lot of applications, maybe even the simplest ones that could build you the full application. I definitely recommend you check it out. It might help your development process.